I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Rob?
Yep.
Bill?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yeah.
Linda?
Yes.
Gilbert?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes.
Alex just texted, he's a few minutes out.
Okay. That's cool. Okay, approval of video and written minutes.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Was that Linda and Rob?
Yep.
Linda?
Yes.
Rob?
Yep.
Bill?
Yes.
Gilbert?
Yes.
Joyce? Chuck?
Yes.
Okay. Can we discussion and approval of financial reports? So,
Okay, reconciled date is February 28, 2025. Prior UAN balance was $2,162,087.55. $164,801.65 receipts. Payments was $229,351.87. Zero adjustments for a final balance of $2,097,537.33. Any questions?
any special guest?
I need a motion to
Oh, I'm sorry.
Motion to
Okay,
approve.
I need a motion to approve, I'm sorry.
I'll make the motion to approve financial part.
I'll second it.
I was watching out for you.
I know you got keys straight.
Bill?
Yes.
Gilbert?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yeah.
Chuck?
Yes.
Rob?
Yep.
Linda?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try this again. Any special guest? Besides Mike? None? You're gonna do the fire stuff, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Before we go to the committee reports, I wanna, Linda talked to me, but I had talked to Bill Franker and stuff, and so the Ohio Legislative Service Commission, basically, House Bill, I think it was
331.
331, it pertains to villages.
Villages.
Okay, so here's the fact. What it does, the county commissioners have to evaluate their villages in their county, and if they don't meet five of the
Certain criteria.
certain criteria, there's 10 criteria, but if you don't meet the minimum of 5, they'll go through a process where they basically dissolve the village and take over their assets.
Are you kidding?
It's a state, it's a new state, it already passed.
Yeah, it's a new state thingy.
This new state thingy, so here's what I want everybody to understand before we talk about, so we're responsible as a village for police protection, firefighting services,
We have-
garbage collection, but it could be a contract service, but you have to make it available for people in the community, right?
And we do.
So, I mean, you like police, we do a contract with the police department,
Right.
right?
We're
But it's
cool
still,
there.
but we're okay there. So then the water service,
Which we
sewer
have,
service,
Which we have.
emergency medical service, and that's why I'm getting the county EMS station here, because we have to have that in
Yeah.
our community, okay? Road maintenance, which we do.
Mhm.
We have parks, we've created parks for our community, we got the dog park, the ATV park, the walking parks, and, you know, all
Now
that
we
stuff,
got
so we're good
another
there.
one coming over
So,
there.
in there. Human services, which is, you know,
Which-
support the community, which would be like social programs for in your community, which we haven't got nothing up there, and then public library.
Which we have.
We have, right, but those are things that you're required to have in your community,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's the same, so I want the community, as we're talking about this, to understand that these are things that we have to provide and fund, you know, through the community. So that's why sometimes we have to, you know, that's why we use the money for their income tax and all that stuff, and property tax, and that's money we use for these services that we have to provide
Yeah.
as a village. So,
Yep.
I just want everybody, before we start.
So we
And
okay
it's all-
on all 10?
No, we can't, we got pretty much all 10 of them.
Well, we don't
Yeah,
have-
all with the H&R services.
Yeah, human
for
services.
Human resources.
Could you send me an abridged copy of what we have to have so I can?
Well, that's what this is, this is a summary of that,
Yeah.
because it's, I don't know.
I don't wanna put that whole document on the website, but I wanna put on, this is what we have to do to
Yeah,
fund.
I'll give this to
So
you,
the
and then
residents know.
You can scan this here, because this is what let's just scan that one there, because that's a summary, the whole thing's like, I don't know,
It's pretty big.
it's like 97 pages.
But as soon as I found
Didn't they
out,
try to do this before, like, when all of our money sent to Columbus?
several years
I don't
ago.
I
remember.
got a copy of this right here.
Because
They
I,
wanted to have like a pool and then they
Yeah.
would disperse it as
I think that'll
needed,
give
you
me
know.
enough. I
Okay.
can put that on
but
there.
I heard about it and right away I called Scott and said,
Yeah.
have you heard about this? And he says, yeah, Frankert told me.
Yeah, I talked
So,
to Frankert, so,
I thought, okay. And I went over this, I drew it up on my computer to look, and I thought, we're okay.
Yeah.
We meet more than 5 of the criteria to stay a village.
Yeah.
and I think we're moving forward, we're
Yeah.
solving these problems and all this stuff, and,
But if somebody else hears about it, they're gonna start hollering, what is this? Are we still gonna be a village? And then
Yeah.
we're gonna get
That's
questions.
the reason why I want to clarify
So
it
you
on the
need,
website.
yeah, that's a
Now,
good
I'm not saying
idea
they're gonna read it, but at least it's
It's
there,
there
they have the
for their
opportunity.
information.
And
Yes,
they know that we're mandated to do these things.
yes,
yeah. And this is,
Okay.
this is something that gets done every 10 years, they do an evaluation every 10 years as part of their census, so everybody, it's part of the census program.
I'll
Yep.
read through this,
Yeah.
I'll do a synopsis
That's just,
of
that's
it.
just a summary there,
I'm
yeah.
gonna do a synopsis of it so I can keep it a little bit shorter,
Okay.
because I wanna keep their attention span.
right,
I'll send it to you,
That's
you
fine.
approve it, send it back, and I'll put it on the website.
Okay, that's good
yeah,
enough, yeah.
that's good.
That way we won't have to copy it, I just.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I'll
way
need
at
a
least they
copy of
understand what's
that
going
too,
on, it's just,
Scott.
it's part of what we have to
I'll
do.
I'll need a copy.
Let me do take it there.
And just have that whole thing, then you can have it and understand what we're doing.
Yes,
Now, we're gonna go to the police report, and then, just so everybody understands, you know, there's gonna be a 3% increase again for the service again this year.
Yeah.
As part of the
How
program.
many copies of that?
It's already been appropriated in the budget, so we're good. But anyway, so,
Yeah, we got the letter from them, effective January 1st of this year, the rate increased from 38.69%, or $38.69 to $39.85, which is a 3%
hourly rate,
increase.
yeah.
Yep.
So, and tell you, I think that's probably the best thing we ever did, as far as, it just took a lot of the hassle out of the village, we don't have all the conflict we had before, and I think overall, we're getting better resolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's,
they are.
you know, it's lots less stressful for the council, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll read the report here. Traffic citation, there were 2 of them. 2 verbal warnings, suspicious persons, so they must have been looking for me, 2. Driving under suspension, 1. Theft, there was 2 things of theft. Disturbance, 1. Let's see, non-criminal alarms, 2. Assist other officers, 2. 0 motor vehicle accidents, there was none there, so that's good.
Yes,
And other assisted citizens, 71, so engaging with the public, so that's all.
Be interested to know what the thefts are about.
Yeah, yeah, I'll find out. And also while we're talking there, I sat down with the sheriff department, we started going through the process of resolving the issue with all the evidence and stuff in there, so we can testify in that room, so
okay,
they've already looked at everything, and they was gonna talk to Brandon and try to get a log, figure out what Brandon might have had at one time, or where it was at, so we can figure
Yeah.
out what it is, and then we'll try to get this cleaned up. And then I think we'll probably in the spring or something, I don't know, there's probably 10 or 12 bicycles in there and all that stuff, well, I guess we'd just have a cell, and get rid of all that stuff, because what are we gonna do with this stuff?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what we're gonna do with it, so, but we have to do some kind of a public auction or something, I
Yeah,
guess,
we do.
what John does, so, we wanna get that cleaned up. Okay.
is the machete still there?
Well, I don't know, there's all kinds of stuff in there, I didn't dig through it, but, you know,
There used to be a machete over
there's all kinds of dirt and stuff that got piled in there from some kind of marijuana bust or
when I
something, I
was
don't know.
mayor.
Yeah, so we'll get that straightened out.
Okay.
Mike, you wanna come up and present a report for the fire department?
Okay,
Hi, Mike.
in February, we had 8 calls. That, on the 6th was first responder, 200 State. On the 10th was the gas order, 202 Washington. First responder call on the 10th, 200 State. Another call on the 10th, a first responder call at 207 Union Street, which I think that one actually was on State. I think they got the wrong address. Have to double check that. We had a motor vehicle accident on 11820 on West County Road 61. Says EMS on 111 Washington Street on the 16th. On the 21st, it says EMS 6431 North County Road 31. On the 26th, a lift assist net 4709 on West Township Road 156. That. I think there was one call, I couldn't find it, that we had no one respond on a sister lift. That we just happened. Some of our guys, their work schedules got crazy in that, and they just had to hit a spot. The new phones we got, can they port our 5141 phone number into that new phone system?
I think that's eventually what they're supposed to do, but I don't, John, I think as far as we know right now, they haven't got the phones even working for us yet, right? Is that correct?
No.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know what's going on with the spectrum thing or whatever.
I've
Verizon.
emailed him twice and he's not supposed to be back in the office until tomorrow.
You know,
And
So-
another thing, find out what the PIN number is to get in the voicemail even.
Yeah, we'll figure all that stuff out.
Yeah.
So, as we're, anything else?
There's a 2-hour training for these phones and we're not been given that yet.
Okay, so, as we're talking about the fire department, a couple things here. The tanker's supposed to go down into this month, or first of
Yeah.
April. They can get the new tank put on, all that stuff, so I gotta,
Okay, cool.
Yeah, either
yeah,
end of this month or first of April, approximately 3 months out,
yeah,
they're gonna have it.
yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, that's kind of what, that's going forward. I also, just so that you know, I talked to Renee, there's an opportunity to get $7,500 a yearly subsidy for the fire department village, that I applied for a grant, and also there's a $600,000 ones I applied through Renee, she's working on all that stuff. So we have to see where that goes.
Okay.
So that's going forward, I don't know if we'll get it or not, you know, all that stuff. The other thing, just so you know, going back to when we talked about the medical director and the pharmacy license.
Right.
I talked to a couple of the other fire chiefs, and we definitely need to do it because of what the new rules are coming towards us from the state. So I renewed the medical director, and I renewed the pharmacy license for right now, until we get clarification, just to protect ourselves from the village, just so you know that's going on, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I just,
That was $1,350.
yeah.
Cause
wanted-
make sure, Tom, we don't have a first responder going to our call at
But,
all.
but my point being is, we have to have that discussion, because as we're going forward, looking at what they're asking us to do as a village, we need to figure out how, because we can't always count on EMS being here, available for first responders, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So we have to be engaged, so we have to have that discussion, okay? I don't know what the answer is, I know we're short people, but on the same token, we have to solve that problem, you know, we have to have an honest discussion on that.
Yeah.
So, because it's coming, because what happens now, the village best, well, the EMS station number 3 here is the second most active station in the county right now.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
out a couple times a day.
So they're averaging 39 to 42 calls a month now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And the only one that's beating them is Green Springs, and that's because they have a villa there.
Yeah,
that
that's
they take
right.
care of.
Cause we, when I was running the EMS net,
Yeah,
for many years, Bethel was the
Yeah.
most active station.
yeah.
yeah.
And so we're kind of going back to that way now, and they're shifting the, so what I'm getting at is that they might not always be available for in-town activities, so we need to consider making sure that as first responders, if it's just a share lift or something like that, we can try to do that, because the other issue is gonna be, is that the county's gonna bill for these now, when they come in, and they gotta do these runs to in the community, there's gonna be a charge for that. You know what I'm saying, so that's, I just wanna have that discussion, so we can figure out how we manage that, you know what I'm saying, it's,
Well, like I tell you, I got, 16 firefighters, 4 of them don't even live in our district
oh, I understand.
and that, and I think I got like, I think it's about 8 they're first responder or EMTs, which some of us said they're gonna drop their cars.
Yeah. Well, we gotta have that discussion, you know, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, okay, so,
Yeah.
I wanna have a meeting, so we'll just come back and Mike, we need to, not necessarily have it with all the officers, but we have a discussion, how we're gonna approach this whole thing, big picture.
Yeah.
And then I wanna go over the funding too, cause Mike's got a copy of his funding for the year, and I need to sit down with Mike, you know, I've asked him a couple of times, and he needs to give me a time when we can have this discussion.
Yeah.
So we can kinda go through it and make sure we're all on the same page, cause the bottom line is, you know, your
Gotta
village
have
vets,
the
we have to
communication.
subsidize you or
Yes.
something, we gotta figure out what we gotta do.
Yeah, cause like I say, we're trying like, for our inspection stuff, we're trying to stagger it out.
Yeah.
So it ain't all hitting.
Right, So, I mean, so we need to have more discussions, that's all I'm saying,
Yeah.
Mike, so, but I just wanna be upfront and honest with you, because this is where we're kinda going with stuff.
And, Saturday, we got our reverse raffle and
Yeah.
tipping and that.
That's it.
I'm gonna stay back here.
Okay.
If we get a call, at least I get mutual aid rolling.
Yeah.
I'm sure they get to the right place
Okay,
and
okay,
give them updates.
okay,
Okay.
okay, so,
Thank
like I said,
you.
just have the discussion with everybody and we start figuring out what we can do, okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, thanks.
you,
Anything
Mike.
else?
Can I have a copy of that?
Lois?
Oh, yep.
Just something I scribbled down.
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah.
Definitely different.
Yeah,
Okay.
but, I could get,
Okay,
Harry got everything on the thumb drive, he's got the thumb drives, Steve does.
When they do get a thing of that,
Okay.
it'd be nice to get a copy so I can put it on the website.
mhm.
Yeah, can you see if you can have that typed up, and then, because he puts it on the website too.
Okay, I said, get Mike to it.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
thanks.
And then there's a couple other things, Scott, for the fire.
Yeah, what was that premium service, what was that?
That was what you just said, that invoice that I paid,
Fire under that.
that was a Premier Services invoice that you just said, told them that you paid for the.
Oh, okay, that's what, I
Oh,
couldn't remember, oh, that's for the doctor, okay,
1,053?
yeah,
$1,350.
350.
yeah, that's medical director.
And
yeah.
then the new revenue advance, I gave you a copy. It looks like that. That's $23,447. Well, at the last
Yeah, this one
meeting,
here,
I was supposed to check with
general,
Yes.
yeah, fire
Julie
department.
to see if we can transfer the money to the fire fund and pay it out of the fire levy fund. And she said, you don't wanna transfer, because when you transfer, you're not getting the money back.
Right.
So you have to advance, the general fund can advance the money to the fire levy to pay for the tanker. And then this year, when the money comes in
We can
for the
put it-
fire levy, we can
put it
advance
back
it
in.
back to pay it back to the general fund.
So we wanna do that right now while we're talking
Yeah.
about, now let's do that, so so I need,
Yeah, you go to that. I'm gonna change because I want to clean up one of the words I used in here.
Okay,
Ever
yeah.
since-
Was it a bad word?
Yes, it was the word transfer.
Oh.
Yep, it's gotta be advanced.
I committed it.
so a motion to approve the transfer of money.
Well, you
No.
can read.
No,
you
no,
have
Let's
to-
talk about
Advance,
this.
advance.
No,
Wait,
you have to
damn it.
read this, you have to read this paper.
Okay, we got advances.
You have to read this paper. Because
Okay, okay.
before we can do the transfer, or the
Advance.
advance, before we can do the advance, this has to be done. I have to create
Okay,
a
so,
new revenue accounts,
Okay.
new appropriation accounts with those dollar amounts in it. So it's
okay,
kinda like
council
a
was
new
asked to
budget
approve
and
the
a new.
following. Angela had to create a new account code, 1,000 general fund and 2901 spec levy fire equipment fund due to the need to advance money for the tanker water replacement until the fire levy funds are received in 2025. Revenue increase, new accounts, general fund, $23,447,
In advances in.
and advance it in. And then spec fire equipment advanced in, $23,447. Appropriation increase, new accounts, general fund, $23,447. And spec
Advances out.
levy, fire levy equipment, $23,447. So I need a
And those are
motion,
both advances out.
a motion to advance the funds. to
I'll
the-
Make a
make-
motion to advance the funds.
To approve.
To advance,
I'll second that motion to approve.
advance.
To approve, you're approving the
Who's approving
new
the advance?
revenue funds and the
Yes.
appropriation funds right now.
We don't.
Rob,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce?
Yeah.
Chuck,
Yes.
Gilbert?
Yes.
Okay, so then,
Oh, sorry. Don't do that. No, this one here.
This one.
so that takes us to resolution 2025-03,
03.
which is allowing me to actually do the advance.
So do we have to do this in a emergency?
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
because
better.
we don't have
You need
3
it.
months to get the money.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. we
Well,
need it.
maybe, but.
So a motion to suspend the rules?
Well, you gotta.
Read it.
Oh,
Read
I
it.
mean, I'm
This is the
sorry.
first time.
Okay.
Well, you just did read it. No.
No, this is a different one.
This is the actual resolution
Okay.
to
This
move
is
it.
the
Resolution of the-
resolution.
Okay, a resolution of the Village of Bestville, Ohio, advancing $23,447 from the general fund, 1,000 to specific or special levy fire equipment fund, 2901. Whereas the Village of Bestville seeks to advance $23,447 from the general fund, number 1,000, to the special levy fire equipment fund, 2901, on a temporary basis. Whereas the Village of Bestville shall reimburse $23,447 back to the general fund, 1,000 from the special levy 2901 upon receipt of fire levy funds in 2025. Now therefore be it resolved by the council of the Village of Betsville, Ohio. Section 1, the Village of Betsville, Ohio seeks to advance 23,447 from the general fund to 1,000 to special levy fire equipment fund 2901 on a temporary basis, and Section 2, the Village of Betsville shall reimburse 23,447 back to the general fund 1,000 from the special levy fire equipment fund 2901 upon receipt of funds of 2025. Section 3, that by a vote of no fewer than 3/4 of its members, the council of the Village of Betsville, Ohio has dispensed with the requirement of Section 7331.17 Ohio Revised Code that this ordinance be read in 3 separate days prior to its passage. Section 4, for that reason stated in the preamble hereto, the resolution is declared to be an emergency measure that shall take effect and in full force and after its passage and due authentication by the mayor and the clerk of Village of Betsville, Ohio.
I'll make the motion to suspend the rules.
I'll second it.
Linda,
Yes.
Rob,
Yep.
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yeah.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
Motion 2, declare emergency.
Make the motion to declare emergency.
I'll second.
Go ahead.
I'll second it.
Bill,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yeah.
Rob,
Yep.
Linda,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt?
No. No.
Did you make the motion, Linda?
No, Joyce is
did.
making the motion. We're just pointing to them, guys.
Who second?
I Chuck.
Joyce,
Yeah.
Chuck,
Wow. Wow.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes. Yes.
Rob,
Like,
Yes.
guys.
Bill,
Yes.
Ring around the rosy.
Well, we're getting that all cleaned up, so we're learning here. This is all.
and one more thing,
Oh,
Okay.
what?
the tanker is gonna cost $88,500.
Oh,
With the fire, once all the fire levy money is in the fire levy fund, that's $72,553.95. Then the fire reserves total is gonna be used, that's in the general fund, which is $11,421.87. After all that, the general fund will have to pay $4,524.18.
Yeah.
So should I get approval of that too, or just?
I would.
Yeah,
I
probably. At least a motion to,
A motion to approve that?
yeah.
So that's the balance that'll come out of the general fund,
So the motion for the $4,000 come out of.
452418.
4520, what?
452418.
2480. So
24.
motion to
Pay the balance on
pay
the
the
general.
balance on the
I'll
general
make the
fund.
balance that we pay the balance of the tanker fund out of the general fund.
okay.
I'll second the motion.
Linda,
Yes.
Rob,
Yep.
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yep.
Chuck,
Yes.
Gilbert?
Yes.
Okay. That
You
should
might
be-
wanna put the amount in the motion.
Yeah, I
I
will.
just happened to think about that.
I will.
Is that all right with you?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Keep all this stuff straight in your head, it's hard sometimes, right?
Yes, it is.
I stress her out.
My head's is hard.
Huh? A lot of stuff going on in this thing, so. Okay, Water Street Sewer, John?
Nope, you
Nope,
missed
nothing.
it.
I must clean up.
Oh, nothing until probably about April 1st. I've been kind of driving around some of the alleys and stuff, and it's kind of looking a little shabby, but it's been just too friggin' cold.
Yeah, well, John told me there's some collection again, so what we do is we'll have the sheriff go around and have a little talk with him.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
okay,
There's a
Yes.
couple spots we have to address, so
yeah.
he'll give me the addresses and I'll get a thing that to the sheriff. Okay, sorry. Okay, wanna try John again, Water Street?
Yeah, we'll do that real quick. Okay, what I really have is gonna be under old business, but I did get a phone call from American Tower, is the company that owns the cell tower that's back here. We still have 18 years under our contract, but they would like to add 7 5-year terms to the lease, which would put the expiration date at 2/28/78.
So John and I had a discussion on this, and the issue is that some people will buy those tower leases, but I don't think we should give up the lease to the village. I think we should stay
Well,
with.
that's not what this is.
No, this is not what this is,
But
but-
I always deny them people anyhow. They wanna buy you out for a certain amount,
Right.
which is not what it would be at the end of your term,
Yeah.
so we're not dying, we're not hurting, so. But basically the way I asked her, I'm like, well, we're barely halfway through our lease, why? And she said, when other companies come to them, like Verizon and Bascom Communications running fiber to it and everything, they wanna sign, most of them wanna sign a 50-year lease. And if their lease for our property doesn't match the amount of time that they wanna sign the lease for, they can't sell them the lease.
I see.
So that's why they wanna extend it. That would keep our monthly rent the same, allowing the increases as scheduled, which is 10% every 5 years ago. It is 10% every 5 years ago. And, that would keep the term escalator the same. And they'll give us a $10,000 signing bonus when the agreement's executed. So, she said we can table it for a year or two, they're just gonna keep coming back to us. But I don't know why it would really matter,
I think we go for the $10,000
Yeah.
bonus and just move forward, because we still have
so.
money coming off the tower, so it's a long-term
Right.
thing. So it's a good
Yes.
thing, so I guess we need to. put
I
that-
mean, even at the end of the 30-year lease, what are you gonna do, tell them they gotta take it down now? I mean, there's really,
Right.
Yeah, so I think let's just lock it in, so that way we got something we don't have to worry about, and then.
so I'll
we just have
tell
that
her to
income
go
coming.
ahead and send the rest of the
So do
information.
you need what?
I told her not to waste a bunch of stuff. It'll be a huge lease packet and, yeah, no,
We'll
we
have
don't
to-
have to do anything right now.
Okay.
I'm just, wanted to know if you guys want me to go forward with it.
Yeah, I think so.
So-
What's the council think?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good
I
idea,
think
yeah.
Okay.
Then move forward.
I told her not to waste a bunch of time until after I brought it to you guys, so,
Okay,
alrighty.
Fair enough.
thanks, sir.
The park, we did a little modification to the dog park. I talked to John, we put some stone over there in the entrance gate because it came this mud pot puddle.
Oh, yeah,
That
yeah.
happened to be the lowest spot in the whole
Yeah,
place, had all the
naturally.
water on there, so he worked his ass off and took all that lumpy stone over there and it's finally starting to thaw out again. But now it looks pretty nice and everybody's happy, everybody I talked to, so everybody's
Good.
very happy with the dog park and we got the issue with the ATVs and the AD park on control
Has there been
again.
kids going
Yeah.
out there?
Yeah, they're using it,
Are they
yeah.
using it?
Yeah,
Okay.
they are using it, and so it's a good thing, so that's doing it.
We still having people going back behind there?
That's kind of resolved, but John's gotta change the sign, so it's just authorized vehicles only, so people can walk back there, we just don't want, we didn't want the vehicles back there. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
the
okay,
sheriff talked to the appropriate people, and I think it's resolved now,
okay,
so I think that's taken care of,
okay.
okay? That brings us up to old business, and now John's back. up.
No, you missed
Yeah,
Zoning.
zoning.
Oh, zoning.
Zoning,
Well, you-
But we don't have anything.
Okay,
No, we don't.
Skip
He
it.
might have something.
I don't have them.
I was trying to get done by 8 o'clock, cause I know she wants to go watch.
I
it.
don't.
We got an hour yet.
Okay, first one is water meters, which I brought you guys a quote last month. The quote was $178,812. That's installed, all the equipment, software, whatnot. He came in and did a little demonstration. The Neptune meters, which this quote ends up being about $30,000 less than the initial quote I got. From the other company. These meters are made in the USA. They are made in Texas. You can swap out parts in them. The ones that we have now and the ones I got the estimate on before, they have to be calibrated if anything happens to them. So this is what a frozen meter ends up looking like. This is junk. So there's $180 to the customer to replace it because they didn't take care of their meter. The new ones, these new ones, it's about $50 to replace the guts in there and it doesn't have to be calibrated. So you don't have to replace everything, you know.
that's good.
Fostoria and Gibsonburg use them. The guy that come in and did the demonstration brought up Fostoria's stuff and showed me how the program works. It's actually really neat. But, it will show you a bar graph. They keep like a 96-day read in them, and if someone calls and complains that there's no way I use this much water, or I think I might have a leak, I can go by and read that meter, bring it back here and plug it in, and it'll bring up a bar graph and show the exact hours the usage was,
Fantastic.
When the meters are read every month, it'll throw up an alarm and show you meters that are running continuously or intermittently, so you can go back and contact those people. The software cost is $2,255 a year, and that covers all the meter reading software. That's an annual subscription. That covers them coming in, if you got issues with anything, that's tech, whatever you need. The salesman is based in Bowling Green, and he said he stops every 6 weeks to all of his customers and asks them if they need anything, checks in with them. The other $600 of that is a warranty, a yearly warranty on the transceiver that you take around to read the meters. New one of them is $6,000, so it doesn't hurt to pay the extra money for the warranty.
Okay.
So, when we get to the money side of things, are you prepared? So Scott had Angela put back $25,000 last year when he was looking into the meter thing, hoping that we could use that as a down payment.
Right.
So, we got $25,000 there. We got $70,000 in interest in water and sewer that we did not know that was coming when you guys approved the interest to come back into the respective accounts. That's how much come back into water and sewer.
Wow.
So, what I would like to do is put $100,000 down on them. There's a tax exempt leasing corporation that I got an estimate from, to take out a loan on the other $80,000 for 7 years. Is the annual payment would be $14,787.38. Currently, we're bringing in about $15,000 in water, and what is it, 20 something in sewer a year in interest. So you would split that almost 15,000 between the two accounts, because they're both, the meters are used for both. And so we could use that interest money to pay this loan, still have interest money left over, and not touch our normal budget to get these meters installed.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's
Okay.
a win-win.
Yeah.
Sounds
Oh, yeah,
well
win-win
thought
all the way around.
So, I did not go any further with the bank side of it, because I don't like people wasting time for no reason. So I wanted to make sure that I went with, talk to you guys about everything before, I went that far, but he said it wouldn't take long to get the rest of the information to us, so we could get it all taken care of.
They also install.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all
that's
installed.
That's installed
Yeah,
pipe,
that
so.
178 and some change.
Are they gonna be installed under your house?
They'll be where the meter is now, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
mine's underneath the house and there's nobody can get under there anymore.
They'll figure it
They'll
out.
figure it out.
They'll figure it out.
Really?
They'll stick you in
Unless you
there,
weigh
don't worry.
32 pounds.
Well, I give you something to do there under there.
Yeah, cut a hole in the floor. Anybody got a chainsaw?
It's stone.
So the thing that I really liked about this company for the installation side of it, rather than the other hires a third-party outfit to come in. You wouldn't really know where they're coming from. And safety-wise, this company does the installation work themselves. They have their own crews that go out and do this. So at least you have somebody to go back to talk to.
Right.
Well, I think the best thing is that it isn't gonna cost the homeowner anything, right?
No.
No.
No,
Well,
I mean, they ought to be glad to hear something.
you'll be
like that.
paying for the water you're using.
Well, yeah.
So
This is more accurate.
this guy said, so you'll be paying off a loan in 7 years on equipment that's good for 20 plus.
Yeah.
He said that they do Perrysburg also. He said that he got a meter back not too long ago that they checked the calibration on it. It was 26 years old and it was still running at 96%.
Wow, okay.
So, you have somebody to get in contact with.
Right.
That's the main
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
When I mentioned to him what billing system we use, he said a guy's name. He's like, "Oh, I work with this guy all the time." So they're fluent with the
what we
billing system that we use. The company is out of Columbus, so yeah, I think this is your best route.
And
The only difference between this estimate and the other estimate was, I forgot we were gonna need 3 4-inch meters, which are big meters. Those are on this estimate is almost $3,700 each. You need one for the school, one for the well house, and one for what will be the campground out here. That total was $11,000, and that's not on the other estimate. So that's what puts us roughly about $32,000 cheaper than the original estimate I got.
Awesome.
And then the other thing, it solves our safety issue, right?
Yeah,
That's the
it
biggest
takes the
thing.
liability, you know, now you're just driving around and it'll read up to a block, he said. So it has no problem reading, meter that would be on the back of someone's house or
Okay.
anything.
Yeah.
Basically, the transmitter looks like like the phone box that's on the side of your house.
Oh, okay.
Little gray phone box, it's not.
Hmm.
So, yeah, that's what I'd like to do.
Yeah, so let's talk, let's.
I think we should go for it.
So
I
a
do
motion
too.
to have John move forward with this project.
I'll make a motion to have John move forward with the water
Before
meter
I-
project.
Yes.
You know any history about the company that you're talking about?
They're the very first company to make a water meter in the United
I
States.
just need to know that you know about it, that's all.
Neptune is a very
You
old
got,
company.
you got confidence in?
Yeah, Neptune is a very old company.
Yep.
Yeah,
They've been around a long time, so.
yes,
They're doing something right.
yes.
And
So I
I'll
think-
second the motion.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Linda,
Yes.
Rob,
Yep.
Bill,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
Joyce.
Yep.
Now go ahead and get us in debt now.
Well,
Well, we're not really gonna be in
So,
the
yeah,
debt,
it's,
no.
we were looking
With the
good.
We
next
will-
thing on the agenda.
Yeah.
we will, but,
With the next thing in the agenda.
Oh, yeah.
we don't have a lot of information on that one.
Oh,
But we will need a motion to let me enter into an agreement with a leasing corporation.
Well, I'll make a motion or whatever.
I'll
Or
second
let
it.
Scott,
John do
whoever,
that.
I guess it really don't.
I'll second it.
Let the administrator do it. He's doing all the things, so.
With the leasing, what?
Here's the,
So that way he can sign the leasing program and
Right.
take care of that, so.
it's a loan. The interest rate's 6.8%. What I found out,
Yeah, put my input, that's fine.
yeah, you can't really get anything lower than that right
Right.
now.
Yeah.
What I found
Yeah.
out from the EPA is since this is, equipment replacement, you can't get a 0 to low interest loan on that. You only get it on construction jobs through the EPA. So you're gonna pay it no matter where you go.
okay.
So
And-
who made the motion?
Joyce,
Who seconded it?
I did.
Gilbert,
Gilbert? Okay.
Joyce,
yeah.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Rob,
Yep.
Linda.
Yep,
And I'll work with John
This
on this.
meter company works with that leasing corporation directly. That's how I got the information for them, so
okay.
it's not just something that
Yeah.
I
They're
found in
used
the
to doing
yellow
this, so.
pages, so, yeah.
Cool, that's all that is.
And
They still
along
have
on
yellow
those
pages?
same lines,
I don't think so.
I need council, I'm gonna ask council to approve the following appropriations for the following funds for the down payment for the new water meters to be split between water and sewer.
Okay,
Water operating fund, 5101, 539, 520, equipment, $50,000. Sewer operating fund, 5201, 554, 420, operating supplies and materials, $50,000.
I so move.
second,
I'll second it.
roll call.
Linda,
Yep,
Bill,
Yes.
Rob,
Yep.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Joyce.
Yeah.
Chuck,
Yes.
you just asked them.
Cool, thanks everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, John, do you have any update on this sludge removal project?
Okay, the engineer did get with me and he come out to the wastewater plant and took some measurements on the area I'd like to put it in. He said everything looked good there. He's gonna, once his, well, it was really cold out when he was here a couple weeks ago. Once his surveyor gets a minute, he's gonna have him come over here and shoot some elevations and then he'll finish up the drawing and get us an estimate. So. That's all I got for the sewer project, so I'm not looking for money on that yet, Joyce.
Well, you'll probably just take it out of the tree fund.
I will.
So emotional.
I will.
So the next one is the Vesuvius update, so there's two projects kind of going on, well, there's actually three projects going on, but the two that matter is the EMS building is done. Okay, so Thursday, I have all the IT, Be Safe Security, and Bascom Communications to turn everything on and try to get, the radios and stuff are already working. All that stuff's working. And then they're working on getting a pharmacology license set up over there, but right, the only holdup now, they have to get a sign put up there saying this is.
That's right.
It's gotta be Station 3, Second County, so they're getting that resolved. So I got Lynn and Chris and everybody's working on all that, doing all that stuff, so, they bought all new beds and all that stuff put in there and all that stuff's done, and so, right now they're putting.
Do we get to have a,
Yeah,
We're
I'll take
gonna
you
have
out.
an open house.
Yeah, we'll have, in the spring when it's warmer out.
Okay.
And then, right now, they're finishing up, putting the new furnace in out there, so that they should have that done this week. I was out there today, they got, everything's kinda there, they're just installing everything right now, so I would expect by, end of the week, that'll be all done. And the county's paying for everything, so I got all the paperwork, and I got all the change orders and all that stuff taken care of. I talked to Barb today, all that stuff's resolved.
Fantastic.
Okay, so roughly, we got $150,000 grant, they're gonna put another $120,000 in it, all the stuff for the security and all the stuff they put in there that they're paying for already, so there's roughly,
yeah, part of Northern?
yeah, so, and it didn't cost us anything, and then we'll sign the lease, we'll get the lease you need to get with Derek, and we'll get the lease for $1, and it's gonna be long-term, so Tony and Brent and I talked to everybody, it's a long-term solution, so they're gonna stay here, so that's always our
Yes.
community issue, okay? So that's pretty well done. The second part of the Vesuvius thing is then, I've already started the pricing and getting the second building, so it's operational. I did the survey for the water and the sewer and all that stuff. That's how we're gonna try to approach it, how we're gonna put the walls and stuff in there, separate everything out so we can heat it. And so I talked to Paul today, we're probably gonna do next week and do an actual physical test, figure out how we're gonna redo the ductwork and all that so we can heat the place right, So we got it kinda figured out, so we're trying to get all that resolved, and I told him what we got to work with, money-wise and all that stuff, so I think we can do it, so. But we're probably gonna have pretty much all that money in there to get the operational, okay?
Cool.
Okay, so that's that's on that part of it there. And we talked about the MS. And the brownfield, so I spent all week, last week and this week out there doing the land survey, so CEC was here. We did the cameras and scoped all the drains and all that stuff, and they did the actual survey, elevations and all that stuff. They're freaking, now, we'll go ahead and start putting together the plan to send out for quote for the cleanup and what they're gonna do and how they're gonna cap the drain stuff out, cause I think what we might end up doing is bentonite and stuff, and basically going back 6 feet and cutting them off and using bentonite and sealing them off versus digging a whole damn place up. But we gotta figure out how we're gonna solve, cause we got two issues, we got storm sewers, or not sewers, but storm drains, and then we got processed drains, and then we have sanitary drains. So we're trying to work through all that stuff, so it's confusing as hell, and I crawled underneath in John and I went out there, and I crawled down, went into the bisque, and seen all the nastiness underneath there, so it's a pain in the ass, it's like 8 foot wide, 5 foot tall, piping mess under there, and you gotta crawl over everything to get it from here to there, and it's a mess. It's kinda hard to get down in there too, but I was able to do it, so that's moving forward.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
In other words, don't ever go out there by yourself.
well, that's why I was waiting, I did to John, I said, because, well, you don't know what's down here,
Well, yeah,
right?
Right.
gremlins.
There could be critters.
Something bigger than me. That's what I was worried about. It might have been John, but I wasn't sure.
You did great.
So, I got some ordinance, did we do this at the
The
20?
new money, I talked to Julie, and there was a correction on my permanent appropriations, and she said just mention it.
Okay,
It's come to my attention that on ordinance 2025-01 of 2025 permanent appropriations, the total estimated resources for the general fund reads $954,467.38. Due to the amended official certificate of estimated resources dated 2/4, this amount should read $884,393.91. I just need to mention that was because of the interest transfer.
Right.
So she said just put it in the minutes.
okay, the next one is the second reading of the ordinance for the $5 additional capital
Improvement.
improvement
Yeah.
fund for the water
Water
bills, for the water departments. So, the village of Betsville hereby levies an additional $5 per month service charge per household water bill. And this is levied service charge to fund engineering updates and upgrades to water distributions and metering system. And it's said to charge necessary to the safety in the village of Betsville. Therefore, this is the second reading, so that's
Okay.
one more reading, and then we'll enact that, and then go on the water bills.
Cool.
Okay? Okay. Okay, new business, I got all the employees appraisals done finally, so I'm gonna fire them all. So,
No.
well, actually, they was all excellent employees, I mean, we're fortunate to
Of course, you
have.
have to say that, you know, because of the repercussions from some people,
I
you
know, I know, but, you know, we're very fortunate that we have the quality of people we have.
Yeah.
So, and we're very fortunate.
Definitely.
Okay. So on the annexation, I went up today and I worked with Ivy, we finally got since we sold the park off and we annexed all that stuff in, I had to get all that stuff straightened out with the federal government so that, because we changed our footprint of the village.
Right.
So we finally got all that stuff straightened out, finally, I had to go to the county and we had to mess around with all the maps, Mark had to update all his stuff, Ivy had to do her stuff, and we got everything back to BASS, to the census, but that helps us with grants.
Yeah,
Right.
We got more
space.
space, where we got more acreage in the
Yeah.
in the village, that helps us with getting grants and stuff.
Good.
That's why I wanted to get it cleaned up,
Yeah.
Good.
but it's been a pain in the ass, it's nothing
So
easy.
is the park in Betsville
Yeah,
now?
yeah,
So, I mean,
yeah,
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
We did that before we sold.
Yeah,
it.
I
Yeah.
figured
Or
we did,
Before we
yeah.
broke off the piece
Yeah.
of it, because
Yeah.
the rest of it's still in the
yeah,
village
the
too.
only thing we had to get straightened out was that little 5 acre piece that was all messed up there
Yeah.
on Vesuvius, and we got that all straightened out, and got it all cleaned up too, so we got all that stuff cleaned up, so I think now we got everything done, they're telling me we got everything done we're supposed to do.
Okay,
Good.
good.
So I got that done, so. And the Ohio Legislative Service I already talked about, and that's, that's the things we're required to do. Okay, Car Moose Line, this is the one everybody's all worked up about, I do have,
What was the Ohio legislative?
that was the one,
He talked about it.
I talked about it again,
Oh,
yeah.
Bill
The
Smith.
I didn't jump
10
ahead,
things you had to have, yeah.
You wasn't listening to me, John, I said I already did it.
He wasn't in here.
No. Okay.
Boys.
I know, I'm sorry. I got it here anyway, I got pictures of everything, so just to give everybody an update, Car Moose had a thing out to the,
Front nine.
Front Nine, I went to that and then I talked to all the players, so they're moving forward, they already got, right now, they're cleaning the rest of that property off there, the trees and stuff, they're out there grinding stuff up, and
Yeah.
by the end of, probably end of this month, there won't be any trees or nothing there, and they're gonna
Are
start
they
taking dirt
tearing
out.
down their house?
Well, the house is still up,
Right,
so either somebody's gonna buy it and they're gonna move it, or it's
Okay.
going to be torn down, cause the trailer's going now, they got it all smashed up.
right. The trailer's gone, I
yeah, so-
noticed that.
So anyways, so everybody knows we're going, the intent is they wanna shut down 31. Okay, so that's between 158 and 170A. Okay, so that's the two intersections, right? So they're in talks with the commissioners, and the commissioners are open to it right now, just so you know. They're gonna build a brand new road, they bought the old Stanley Miller place as well, so they're gonna move all the road, they're coming up out there, they're gonna kinda straighten it out and take those curves and make them gentle curves. They're gonna put a brand new bridge in and everything on that road, all the way to 61.
Yep,
So that whole new road on that side, the real curvy road that.
Yeah, yeah, between halls
Well, I
and
got a
millers,
picture here.
yeah,
I
yeah.
got a picture of it here.
the back way of,
Here,
Back
here,
way, yeah.
The back way, basically. So here's how they're gonna rearrange the road. So Car Moose is paying for all that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
So they're paying for all that stuff. So they're gonna push it all the way over to to the
Oh,
house
okay,
property.
out there,
Yeah.
by Stan Miller's.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah. So they gotta replace the bridge, they gotta update all that stuff. And the goal is to direct all the truck traffic that way,
Yeah.
right to 61. I mean, they're still gonna come in Union Street,
Yeah,
if they're coming in
Oh,
from
yeah.
town or whatever.
yeah.
well, everybody
I
else
thought
does too.
the commissioner said no at one
But-
point.
Well, I think the issue is they got the permits and all that stuff. It's a safety, it's gonna be a safety issue.
Yeah.
I don't have any skin in the game, I don't go that way anyway.
No, but there's gonna be roughly, say, 20 trucks an hour going across big trucks.
Right,
So the opportunity for somebody running into that, because
Yeah,
we can tell you right now, they put the stop signs and stuff up out there for the stop at the railroad tracks, they don't stop,
yeah.
right? Not everybody, I mean, some people do, but majority of people don't stop. So it's gonna be said, they say, well, we put stop signs there, well, somebody's gonna have to get hurt.
Like 592 and 12.
Right, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
So,
To back that up, if you go down 635 by St. Mary's Church, every year they opened up that quarry on the other side of the road, and the big earth movers come across the road, and they have to put a van right there to tell them there's a car coming, stop. Well, how much confidence you have a big earth mover is gonna stop on a single road by the time you get there and you're doing 60?
right.
So, yeah, for safety, I think it's inconvenient,
yeah.
yeah,
And it's, so a lot of people.
It's
live
not
here
gonna
all
be
their
that much
lives.
of a
For
inconvenience.
safety's sake, I think it liable to save some lives.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
the other issue is that they're gonna also improve 78 up at that end of
Yes.
the road, and beef up 158 going over the route, or to County Road 11.
11,
So
yeah.
they're gonna figure, they gotta do something there too, so I
Yeah,
don't
'cause
know,
it's
they're
nice
working through
now.
that right now, they're working on the engineering part of that right
Yeah.
now. So, there's gonna be a lot of changes probably
Yeah.
in the next year or so.
Yeah,
The thing you gotta look at it, it's still, you gotta understand, it still helps our community because people work there from here, right?
yeah.
I mean, you have MGQ, the asphalt plant, you got M&B, you got Carmoose people. I mean, there's quite a few people working at it that generate income to this township and this village, so.
Yep.
So you gotta look at it from a bigger perspective. I know there's gonna be some,
All I was really worried about was the water, the aquifer, you know.
Aquifer.
And if they're gonna go down 200 feet like they do in the other big hole, you know, how far down are we safe? Are
well,
we safe that way? Because that takes care of a lot of people in this area.
but you need to understand right now, they're at 200 feet right outside the village right now.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they're responsible if it creates a problem with aquifer, that creates a problem water-wise, they have to solve it. It's part of their agreement.
Part of the agreement.
So if they create a problem
they fix
that's
it.
unforeseeable,
Yeah.
then they gotta figure out a way to solve it. So I don't know what, I mean, there's all
That's
kinds.
that's all I was ever worried about, was the water.
Nothing
for-
stays the same.
Yeah.
Everything.
We have to
changes.
move forward.
Okay. Any other questions about Carmoose stuff? Okay. Seneca County Health District Resolution, what is that one?
Oh, okay. I was looking at that again. So, Scott, are you going to the Seneca County Health District meeting on the 17th at 6?
I probably will, because I usually go to them.
Then we don't have to do a resolution. Then we don't have to do
Okay.
anything. We were gonna have to do a resolution if you were gonna send someone else.
Oh,
Okay.
'Cause if you're going, then we don't.
I usually go when I get notice. No, I wasn't aware that it was the 17th coming up.
March 17th at 6.
Okay.
At
So
North
Jack-
Central
we're
Ohio
agreeing.
Educational Services Center.
That's my favorite place to go.
Yeah, it is. You like going there, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I usually go to that because I get that,
Okay.
I'm on the board, so.
Okay, well, that was the
Oh,
plan.
are
This is
you? You're on the board?
Well, you get stuck into it. I mean,
Okay,
Yeah.
I wanna talk to you
That was
afterwards
the whole
because I
point
have
of
a
this,
problem
was-
with
was
that.
we got-
Say it.
You should have told her.
we got a letter basically from
You talked to
Julie Richards
forget.
saying, hey, if your municipal person isn't going, you have to do a resolution basically to send someone else.
Okay.
And since if you're going, then we don't have to do it.
Okay.
Yep, cool.
I didn't get my notice.
Write it down, so you don't forget.
March 17th, we're
March
green.
17 at 6 o'clock
St. Patty's Day.
Yeah,
at Northco. Old Kroger store.
That's not-
No, don't forget it, yeah.
Registration's optional.
Yeah. You guys are picking on me.
No, we wouldn't do that.
Okay, Star Ohio transfer.
I just wanted to mention in the minutes, I transferred $100,000 from Star Ohio into checking account to be able to pay bills, because the funds are
Okay.
getting low.
Okay, the last thing I wanna talk about is kind of like, it goes back to the late fee. Okay.
Can I slide something in quick?
Oh,
'Cause
sure.
there was, it got cut off and John didn't put it on here.
Oh,
I think you have it, reallocate monies,
oh,
dated 2/11. Did I give you a copy of that?
you probably did.
He's looking.
Yeah, I'm looking.
If not, I can read it.
Yeah, you go ahead and read it, cause I ain't
I had to reallocate monies within the sewer operating fund on 2/11. $1,200 was moved from other professional and technical services, 5201-554-349 to natural gas, 5201-554-313 to pay bills.
Okay,
Just need a motion to approve that transaction.
so moved.
Second?
yeah,
Linda?
Yep.
Joyce?
Yep.
Chuck?
Yes.
Gilbert?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Rob?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, last thing I got on the new business, I've got several phone calls this month because of late fees and all that stuff, and so, here's the issue we got. And, you know, we have a rule set up, and so basically after the 15th, if they don't pay it, there's a late fee, okay? So the issue comes down to is, right now with the postal service, even though we're sending an extra week early out, a lot of them are getting chopped up in the automatic
They are,
machinery.
they are.
Okay, so, I don't know what the solution's gonna be, I guess we need to investigate maybe a larger postcard or a heavier card paper. or something, there's gonna be a cost involved, but I don't wanna go to the point where it's gonna cost us 42 cents or 60 cents to send each one out, and then you gotta stuff envelopes, we don't wanna do that.
Right.
The
But,
card stock we get is the card stock that's available,
yeah,
so that's
Well,
what it is.
we even received some that's been chewed up too, you know.
yeah,
That's the bad part. But, and it was okay when Bettsville could stamp it and everything, but the
Right.
post office decided, well, they
can't
had
get-
to send it to Cleveland,
Yeah.
you know.
and the issue is, we have no control over that.
No, we don't.
Right.
So my point being is, the ordinance says what it says, that if after the 15th you don't pay, if the bill's not paid, there's a late fee, you know, and the way you gotta look at it is, even if the people are the people that pay on time all the time, if they know that, you know, they get their normal gas bills and such at the same time, and all of a sudden they don't get their water bill, you know,
Yeah.
something's going on, right? And they can call it on the office here and say, okay, I didn't get my water bill,
Yeah.
you know, what is my amount, so I can write you a check or whatever it is and resolve it. And I think that's how we handle it,
Yeah.
you know.
Can you put that on, like, on the Facebook thingy, you know, about, you know,
I don't have a
being,
Facebook thing.
well, whatever you do.
Website?
Yeah, okay, that thing.
Yeah.
Can you put something out
Right
there,
there.
due to the complexity of the mail delivery or whatever, the water bills are being,
You don't wanna throw the mail post
no, you
office
can't put
under
the
the
post
bus.
office.
And you don't wanna mess with anything with that, because
No,
you also
no.
don't wanna open the door to waiving fees.
Yeah,
Right.
no, I don't wanna waive fees, I just want people to know that if, about their not getting their bill, to make
How
sure
about
that,
just to notice that you are
Responsible
responsible
to
to
pay
pay
the
your
bill.
bill on time. If you don't receive a bill, inquire.
And
yeah.
if the 15th falls on a Saturday,
Anything
don't
wrong
pay it
with
at the
that, John?
bank.
I think that people get bills upon bills every month and they know they're responsible to pay them, whether it's a water bill
Yeah.
or their
Bill.
credit card
A
bill.
letter.
Every
right,
month.
no, I agree.
Everyone's water bill is due the same time the gas bill is due in this town, and everyone pays them at the same time. So if they're paying their gas bill and they haven't paid their water bill yet, then they better call up here and find out why they haven't paid.
Last month, I didn't get a water bill.
Yeah.
Probably the post office. And what did I do, John? I walked up here and I asked him, I says,
Yep,
he said, I can tell you right now what it is. Cause he got right on their tote and I brought my checkbook and I wrote him a check. Cause it's my responsibility.
right.
To pay that water bill. It's not John's, it's not the post office,
No.
it's nobody else's, it's mine.
And I didn't realize, I didn't think about it, that Mike paid our water bill last month on Saturday. The 15th was Saturday.
Big off on this.
That's not a business day for down here.
No,
So I had a late fee on the bill and I didn't know what it was. So I asked John tonight and he told me, explained it to me. So that won't happen again. So if you pay it at the bank on the 15th, you're gonna get a late charge.
yeah.
No, I look
So
at
it is not
this-
the bank's responsibility to
No.
get it here on time
The bank
either?
doesn't charge us to do any of this, so no, that's not gonna be the bank's
Because it's like Susan says, it
responsibility.
automatically comes out of Marge's
That's a
checkbook.
whole different situation.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a bank issue, it's not a,
Yeah.
it's not a,
Well, like I said, the bank, you know, so it
But-
was the bank's fault?
well,
Yeah.
whatever.
I look at it like this, if you get a late fee, 2 or 3 months in a row, and I call up John, I say, what's going on, John? John says, we didn't receive it until this date. And you know
That
you
goes
sent
down
it
to
through
the
the
bank.
mail, or you sent it through the bank and they sent it through the mail, maybe I would think that maybe this has cost me money, I'm gonna do it a different way.
Right.
Maybe I'll just drive up here and drop the check
That's
off.
what we're gonna do from
Yeah.
now on, by
I
golly
mean,
whiz.
so I say at this point, don't do anything.
Right,
No.
right.
I just wanted to make it public so everybody understands, these are the rules.
We've had these postcards since 2006.
Yep, they've been doing fine.
And we've had those rules in place since 2009.
Yep,
Yeah,
So,
yeah. But I just wanna make sure it was public so they understand that there's, we can only do so much, we can't control all this.
I appreciate the information. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so-
also appreciate what John says.
exactly.
It's your bill, pay it.
Yep,
Yep.
yep.
I forgot. I'm sitting there watching, and the best part of the show comes on, and then the cable drops. I didn't pay the damn bill. So I go back to the computer, I get on there, and 10 seconds later it's up, but the only part of it is I don't know what happened.
Well, we'll get Paramount for a rerun or
Yeah.
something.
We'll watch it
That's the way it
tomorrow.
goes.
Yes,
Okay.
watch it.
So do you
tomorrow.
wanna just say council agreed not to do anything, to change anything?
Right, I
Just-
think that's what we do.
It was
I think-
discussed and-
I just wanted to make it public so that we had a discussion on it and, you know, we can only control so much, and, you know,
Yes.
and you have to have a system in place because people take advantage of it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's what.
And, you know, here's another thing real quick while we're on this is, I tag people a week or two ahead of time before I give them a shut-off date. So they've got time to get their stuff in order before they get disconnected. And of course, they always wait until the day of to try and take care of anything. This month, I tagged people. I called the ones that we had good numbers for, and I went and knocked on the doors of the other ones. I still have a couple people that are shut off right now, and just so you guys know, there's some stuff on Facebook about it. Their bills are not paid, just so you know.
But you're going above and beyond, so.
Yeah.
We
What
don't,
else can you
That's
do?
not required.
Yeah,
tagging,
what else can you do?
tagging
Going
is a
above and
courtesy. You know you're behind because you get a bill you should get a bill every month.
beyond? Right.
So,
And not only that, John and the water department has made sure that they send these bills out early,
Right,
so that if you do it through the mail, it still gets in time long before that. And if you don't go up to the post office like me,
well, I don't
Get
bother
your mail.
people November or December, and I try and get them back in line in January. A couple of these people I tagged had not made a payment since October.
oh my,
So, they can't say that we don't work with them. I don't tag people for the holidays, you know, try and get them back in line right after the first of the year. So,
right,
I mean, the bottom line is it costs money to run a distribution system. And, you know, that's how you justify paying the bills, paying for electricity and all that stuff, you know, it
you
costs
gotta
money
run the
to.
government like you do a business.
Yep.
There's dollars and cents involved.
Okay.
Without, the fear or favoritism or whatever.
exactly.
Okay, is there any other new business?
Yep,
If not, I entertain a motion for adjournment.
you got it.
Let's go, let's go.